Good morning. I'd like to show you what we're gonna do this week. And I'd like to start with the schedule. Again, today we are going to working on drafting problem 26 and 31. When you come back next week, which is February 27th, we'll have a small review session and quiz based on the chapter 5. And then March 1st, we're gonna have a midterm exam. I just would like to remind you. So today we're gonna talk about the drafting problem 2631, which is due next Wednesday before midterm exam starts. So if we look at the drawing, this is a 26. We're gonna work with it. Very simple spring clip. All necessary information is here. The unit we are using is metric, and the title of that drawing must be spring clip, and the material is SA1085. Then finish is all over 0.2 micrometers. As you can see, it's a fairly simple part. Making the part shouldn't be hard to do so. So if I'm looking at the CATIA file, just like that, the way I made is just simple sketch for the overall shape. It shouldn't be hard. Then once I made the plate, made the hole, the first hole, I made a small one at the center. Then second hole I made at the right side, the bigger one. Then obviously I just made a simple circular pattern, which is two of them 180 degree each other. So it shouldn't be hard to make it. So once it is done, if we're making drawing, the arrangement I like to have is obviously the front view and right side view. As you do right side view, don't forget to put propel the hidden line and axis show up. Right. Then major part, the things you have to be careful is the setting up of the dimensions, a datum. Datum will be at the top, as we saw in the drawing. The front surface will be our datum, and B is here. Before I tell you, can you tell what it is? Probably someone already mentioned it. So since this is aligned with the dimension line for the diameter 64 right there, that means the axis of this external circular feature will be the datum B. Again, it's the axis datum. The C is right there, right? The surface you're seeing here on the left side, there will be our datum C. So these three datums will be control the position of the small hole and also big hole, as you're seeing here too. So in terms of drafting wise, it shouldn't be hard, but as you do this one, as you can see, we have a separate requirement is given, right? Each hole doesn't have to be pattern. Each hole is separately, it is checking each position. Right. All right, so if we making drawing of this, okay, this is the setup I like to find out. So here is the things I am going to look at very carefully. All right. Oh, I think I mentioned wrong. I defined the datum C wrong. Since we are, again, as you can see, the datum C is aligned with the width of the feature 14. That means the center plane of this feature is datum C. So let's say go back one more time. Datum E is top surface, datum B axis of this external feature, and datum B. Then datum C is the center plane of this rectangular feature at the top. Everything should be easy as we already practiced in the previous practice. Only thing could be give you a hard time will be the dimension 70. When you try to measure 70 from this edge to the opposite side of your external feature, it will be very difficult to grab. So just like we practice in the other drafting problem, if you putting the dot or point as a geometry, then you should be easily able to grab those two. As you do so, obviously you have to use the exact position here, otherwise the vertical distance 70 millimeter will be very hard to achieve. So be careful the way of making the point right there. Besides that, everything should be, again, very easy to do so. Okay, so look at this drawing carefully and hopefully everyone is doing fine. Again, if I'm looking at the CATIA one more time, kind of see right there, right? You can see it, right? There is a dot. So using the sketch tool, right? I put it here. There is intersect point. Make sure using the probably I'm gonna use a center point and this existing curve intersect point. You should be able to put the point right there. Then actual vertical measurement from this edge to the point right there, intersect the point you put it, you should be able to get 70. Rest of them should be, again, very straightforward. The other one you're gonna work on is this one. So this is the part probably many of you are aware that if you reading the textbook, this is the very similar part that you saw for the practice of the material boundary, as the datum have a maximum material condition or regardless of feature size. The way of defining the envelope to control the position of another feature, it is kind of a vary, right? So as you can see, it's pretty much straightforward also too. You're gonna have a major part there, and there's another feature at the top. So if I open the CATIA file, something look like that, right? It shouldn't be hard. The way I made is I just made the base first, right? Just simple circle with a, well, if we're doing real parametric design, this could have been done as a separate feature, but I just included it here. Then another feature at the front, just extrude with a proper amount of pad, then hole at the center, right there. Then another hole at that additional feature we had it there. So part of the design wise, it shouldn't be hard to do so. So when you're done with the part, the arrangement I like to see is from view and the right side of view. So all others are pretty straightforward. The datum A, checking the top surface, and if the flatness is satisfied, as you can see, then adding that makes as a datum A. Then datum B is right there. The axis of the center hole will be the datum B. Its position will be controlled by the datum A and E, as you can see here. Which E is the external cylindrical feature. We're getting that as a datum E, the axis of that as a datum E. Then C is again right, the center plane of this groove we have that will control actually the position of this feature. So either one of them, either this way at the front view and designated diameter is what, and having the feature control frame for the position and the vertical at the same time, or you can do in right side, you can measure this way, provide the diameter, and same thing. So either one of them, you can use it in your drawing. Okay. Again, as you can see, besides this two, this, either this way or that way, it should be straightforward. Shouldn't be hard to do so. As you're doing this though, again, I like to recommend you is working on the material boundary. You can see B, which is right here, is as we use as a secondary datum, it is under condition of a maximum material conditions. So it's a maximum material boundary has to be used. So think about it. What is the actual that envelope has to be used for this B, which is the whole. What is the envelope we are using as a counterpart as you measuring the position of this feature. Okay, so think about it. What's the size it should be? Same way, C, right there. C is also under the maximum material condition. Think about it. What is the envelope size of this feature? Right there, which is 6.6 plus 0.008 minus 0. So you can find out what the maximum material condition is. Then you can apply the proper geometrical tolerance to find out your actual envelope you are using as a reference for position of this feature. So always think about it as we learned in the chapter 5. So that's why I made this drawing as a part of the assignment this week. Again, hopefully this helped you to working on. Sorry, I was not able to helping you in the class today. Hopefully you didn't have a much problem to finish this too. Again, drafting problem 26 shouldn't be hard. Don't forget to put proper information all around, including notes, material, the name, drawing titles. Shouldn't be hard. Again, 31. As you're working on this, again, either one of them, right? Either at the front view or right side of view, one of them should be working fine. But as you do so, practice, just like you learned in the chapter 5, what is the envelope size of datum B and C to control the position of this feature, right? Hopefully it helps, and I will see you next Monday. Next Monday, there will be quiz based on chapter 5. Make sure, and also that's the day you have to turn in chapter 5 chapter review question, all true and false question and multiple choice questions using those Excel template I gave you. Put all answer there because the exam will be Wednesday, so I like to remind you that there will be no late submission allowed for this chapter review question for the chapter 5. Make sure you turn in by Monday so that I can make the answer keys for the chapter 5 available immediately so that we can access and check your answers, and you can see whether you answer right or wrong. All right, so I guess I will see you next Monday.